What is going on, people? I'm fucking pissed off right now, okay? There's gonna be a lot of fucking curse words in this video, and I'm gonna regret using them because I'm going to have to fucking edit them all out in the video after the fact because YouTube censorship. Okay, let's fucking get into this. So this morning, I figured it would be fun, you know? Here's the fucking payback I get for trying to have some fun and do something quite spontaneous. I see a video pop up in my recommended feed with a new artist that I've never heard of, with a really cool, enticing thumbnail. Now, my alarm bells were ringing a little bit because the thumbnail did look a little bit, you know, a little bit AI. But I said, you know what? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. This has really good, like to dislike ratio, and it's got 15,000 views in 6 days. This could be something really underground that just happened to show up in my algorithm. Let's give it a fucking shot. Newsflash, shock of the week, it's fucking AI. Okay, I'm looking out for the subtle tells that this may be AI. Okay, it's AI, yeah. Okay, I'm sad now. I'm sad that this is AI. This might be fully AI. It's visually AI. Is the music AI though? Oh, I can't even tell. This is scary.
I don't believe in what you say, but I don't know why it hurts me.
New metal vibes. This might be AI. Okay, this is fucking AI. Now, for the purposes of this video, I am going to be playing a character, okay? I am now in the character of some guy who's just discovered AI music. What the f was that? AI is oh my god. The machines are talking back. For the purposes of this video, anytime I mention or imply that a band or the music that I'm listening to is AI, I'm saying allegedly, okay? Nothing is set in stone. I cannot confirm for an absolute certainty that the music that we're going to be talking about in this video is AI, but I have some red flags, okay? Red flag number one with this particular project, and this is fucking insane for lack of a better term. The response that this video is getting is the most worrying thing about this. This isn't necessarily even about attacking this particular artist or this AI artist, allegedly. This is more about the current landscape that we're in, where we're only at the tip of the iceberg with this stuff. This is still the Wild West when it comes to like AI, where yeah, it's kind of obvious, but it's also good enough that it can also not be that obvious to a lot of people unless you've kind of experimented in the world of like Suno and all these different AI generating softwares. But the majority of people who consume music don't have a clue, and this is where things get very worrying, because the only reason why this video is going to exist in the first place is because the response on this video is a lot of people praising this band. Most people are maybe, well, some people, a small handful of people in the comment section are pointing out that maybe the video is AI. Like, they're not seeing that the video is AI, or maybe even more concerningly, they do not give a f. I've had many different opinions over time with AI music videos and stuff like that, and over time my opinion has definitely skewed more in the realm of this just looks shit, stop using it. It kind of like waters down and makes your product look tacky, in my opinion. Some people have different opinions. I know it's a budget thing. It's a lot cheaper to like create an AI generated video for these smaller bands, but in my opinion, in the long run, it completely waters down your product and makes you look cheap. That is my take. People will have different takes. Do what you gotta do, but that's my take as someone who's consuming a lot of metal music, a lot of videos. A lot of the time, the things that stand out, although they might not be the most professional, seeing a human in the video is very relatable, and it's nice to see, especially in this world that we're currently in with all of this AI arse that's everywhere. So the worrying thing about this is that in the video that I'm talking about in this instance, and again, it's not specifically just about this video, but a lot of people are not even picking up on any sort of AI. There's no questions being asked. Some of these comments may be botted because they're clearly not afraid to use AI in videos. They're clearly allegedly not afraid to use AI to generate some forms of their music. I won't say absolutely everything, but I've run this through some, you know, variables and different tests, and the tests are telling me that this is likely AI. So again, I cannot prove for an absolute certainty, but my ear instantly tells me it's AI. The fact that they're not afraid to use AI in other circumstances, which is other red flags, which I'll get into, also implies that they don't care about the use of AI. They're not like thinking about AI maybe is not the most, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not the most ethical. They're not thinking about the ethics of that when it comes to art. They're just like, oh, I can use this for everything. Why stop at the music? Their bio on YouTube is AI generated, allegedly. emerged in Moscow on the 4th of April 2010 with the release of their demo Illegal Freedom. So first of all, this is not only just AI. This is the laziest bollocks I've ever seen. Their bio on YouTube says that the EP or the album came out in 2010. But on Spotify, the Illegal Freedom project that they're talking about was released like 6 days ago in 2025. Also, it says they're from Moscow. I've listened to a couple of their songs right now, and there's just not like a Russian accent anywhere.
Maybe a lot of shrapnel.
Nothing about this is convincing. They started in 2010. Let's say that's a typo. Their first release came out 15 years after their inception in Moscow in 2010. Doesn't make sense. This is made by ChatGPT. Another thing that's a dead giveaway with ChatGPT is the little hyphens instead of commas. You'll notice that a lot of you ask ChatGPT to like write out a sentence for you and do something. You'll see hyphens between sentences and breaks in sentences as opposed to commas where commas would normally be. That's a dead giveaway, so that's written all over this. Also, we're living in some crazy dystopian world where ChatGPT is telling me, because I asked ChatGPT ironically to look into the sentence. I pasted the sentence into ChatGPT and asked, was this AI? And ChatGPT is gaslighting me into thinking that this is more human than AI. Like, what world are we living in right now? I'm getting gaslit by AI, who is telling me that an AI generated sentence, like AI is telling me that an AI generated sentence is human when it is clearly AI, allegedly. It has an emotional tone and personality, rage of a generation, Moscow born grit, refusal to compromise. So AI is trying to make me believe that that sentence isn't remotely AI. That is the most AI. I'm being rage baited by robots. This is not an attack on this one particular artist who I'm probably going to redact the name of. I don't think I'll put the name out there on the off chance that I am wrong. Again, this isn't necessarily about attacking this artist specifically. If that was the case, I would just include their name. But for like, I don't want to say legal reasons because that's a bit dramatic, but like for the purposes of the character that I'm playing, I would rather not die on the hill that is accusing someone of using AI when I can't 100% confirm that. So that is why I'm not going to include the name where I can. I'll have to blur it out and go from there. This is more of a warning sign to you guys who are maybe listening to this that have seen the issues yourselves and you feel like people aren't speaking up, or you haven't and you really haven't been paying attention to it. This is really scary, and I don't mind AI to be used, for example, maybe something a little bit more harmless. Like, for example, I want to slag my friend in musical format. I can go to Suno and be like, hey, make a funny song of me slagging my friend. Now, obviously, there's AI conversations that can be had about like the environmental impacts and stuff like that. I don't know. I've not looked too deep into that kind of thing, so I'm not going to start going into studies where like, oh, well, one prompt on ChatGPT means that a forest burns down. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of that. But if we're talking about ethics from just like an artistic standpoint, I don't mind someone using that as like a fun prompt to make a fun song for their mother's birthday party, to be like, happy birthday, you slow, like something mental like that. Okay, that was a crude, you know what I mean? Something that's not going to be publicly put out there to make money on, to pose as an actual cryptic artist, because it's so easy to do now and people aren't really aware of it. We have the whole like cryptic masked band thing going on that's really playing into the AI thing as well, because now people are just making these like cryptic AI characters, which are getting more and more realistic as we go exponentially with the visuals, where you can actually just like create this character that has like a mask on. So you don't actually have to have a face, which would normally be this kind of like way of deciding whether or not something is real. But now, because music has drifted so far down this route of everyone wanting to be anonymous because of the rise of Sleep Token and all these other bands, it's becoming popular again to actually cover your identity. So bands are able to get away with the visual side of things a lot more, where they can say, oh, we're going to hide behind this. Let's create this prompt. People will still say it's AI because I think the visuals are a little bit harder to get away with, because it's just, you know, I just feel as though it's a lot easier to get away with those visual side of things. People are just a little bit more wide to it because it's this uncanny valley. Whereas when people are listening to it, especially if they're not listening to a lot of music or consuming music in the way that someone who's like actively listening to music would consume it, they're a little bit more susceptible to being lied to in that way. And that's the concerning part, especially when people don't actually care. Again, I don't think it's a big problem to like send a funny song to your friends slagging them with Suno. Not something I would do very often, but like on the off chance that you want to make something specific for like a personal endeavor, maybe, yeah, whatever. We'll let it slide. But acting as this like new artist on the scene that's hidden behind AI visuals, that's hidden behind ChatGPT written cryptic messaging, all of that on top of using AI music to create revenue for yourself by posting it on Spotify, by posting it on YouTube to get views. All of this is generating revenue. Not only that, the most worrying part about it all, and I don't want this to be like some like white knight video of me coming in to save all of the musicians and the artists. It's not about that. I do get pissed off by it enough to make the video. Like, the purpose of this video is to not be like, I must save, I am here to save the day. Not at all. It's just that idea that these people can get away with it and think they can get away with it by like lying to their audience, by pretending to be this real thing when it's just some fat kid sitting there typing shit into prompts, you know, a song that people listen to. And then all of a sudden, 50% of someone's playlist right now might be AI without them even realizing. And this is only going to get worse. Exponentially over time, that might become 70%. Now, all of a sudden, all of these like hardworking artists, again, not trying to be this like fucking savior, this white knight guy coming in to save the artists, but these artists that I've loved for years, all of a sudden will have less impact and they will be earning less money because there's so much AI generated content that we can no longer decipher what is actually real anymore. I don't know what the answer is. I don't have a solution. I just have this rant. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, guys. It's gonna get fucking worse, but I've definitely noticed it over the past like month or so where I actually can't decipher what the fuck I'm watching half the time anymore. This is like dead internet theory starting to really come into play, and I don't like it. I don't even know if you guys are gonna trust that I'm real anymore. I can assure you I'm real. I don't know what I have to do. I might get my Mickey out and then it will all start to add up that, oh, what am I talking? I don't know. Could AI do that? I don't think AI could do what I just did. It's too random. There's no prompt that would make that sentence be that coherent and then just drop off like that. Anyways, I'm signing out. A bit angry. I don't even know why. I think I just feel like I'm being lied to. And it's like, do you think I'm stupid? And I'm playing a character. That was a character. That was the character of angry guy on the internet screaming at clouds, whatever that meme is. So yeah, guys, like the video. If you did enjoy, make sure you're subbed to the channel and maybe we'll do a follow-up on this. Yeah. Cheers.